see if this works. I think it's working. Question mark?
Question mark.
Yep.
Just say yes, it says live on mine, so we're good.
Alright, I'm just gonna check Facebook.
Is it on?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
I'll tag ElevatHer and Pics. Here is the Facebook stream.
Did it work? Like, did you tag?
I don't think the tags work, but I sent you a copy of the link.
Okay, I did post a link on our
Okay.
page, so.
Yeah, Facebook doesn't want to work for me to tag you. So we'll go from here like this, I guess.
Awesome. So can you see if anyone's actually in it?
Yeah, there are 2 watching.
Awesome. Hi.
Yeah. Okay, so for the 2 people that are here currently and those of you who will be joining us later, I'm Hannah. I'm from Pics for Passion, and this is Stephanie from ElevatHer. Do you want to give a little intro about yourself?
Yeah, sure. So, yeah, absolutely. So, first of all, thank you for this opportunity. This is my first trial run for any live event, so thank you. Again, I cannot thank you enough because with COVID, everything that's going on, everyone is in this, whirlwind of like, how do I access supports? Where do I go for my normal everyday routine grocery run that is now hectic? So this provides a great avenue for anyone sitting at home who wants to, just get a little bit of extra support or knowledge on the resources in the community. So again, thank you. It helps us as well as other places in the community actually, announce what's going on, because a lot of people are struggling with what organizations are still open. So I'm Stephanie. I'm the founder and executive director of ElevatHer. Oh, is that Abby? Hi, Abby. Yeah. If it's the same Abby I'm thinking of, she's on the ElevatHer team. So, so we work with the community, female identifying individuals and their families. Oh my God, my dog in the back. I'm so sorry. We work with female identifying individuals and their families, so basically the community as a whole. We place a heavy emphasis on female identifying youth. We really focus on that wraparound service approach, so we're not duplicating any services in the community, but if anything, we're strengthening them and bridging that gap. Right now, we actually have a program geared specifically for youth, and it's all online. Mostly having to do with the recent traumas here in Nova Scotia, but also dealing with COVID. So we have a team of coaches and as well counselors who are offering this program online to youth. Right now we have youth enrolled from all over the province who are accessing these services. it's a hard time right now, and then on top of it with the recent tragedies and everybody just learning to access now online services is a learning curve for everyone. So
For sure.
yeah, like the youth are learning as well as much as we are, so it's it's fun, whole new technique and strategy for helping and supporting. But I feel that it's better that we actually know how to offer services like this, because with times changing, I really think that soon in-person support is going to be very minimal. So
yeah,
yeah,
definitely. It's I didn't realize how much I needed people until people weren't around.
yeah, I hear you. It's a lot of people in the same boat. So
Yep. Yeah. Oh, so for me, anybody who doesn't know me, Hannah, like I said earlier, my service project Pics for Fashion is something I started a couple years ago, and it combines using self-care mechanisms and photography. And I actually used this service project and with help from another organization, Duke of Ed, to write a book. And I know Stephanie has a copy, and there's some other copies floating around the province. There's only 80, so they are limited supply right now. But it just kind of goes through stories of different Nova Scotians who have struggled and wanted to help other people. And now I'm continuing that and soon to be launching a program that will be providing self-care baskets, once a week to random select people via social media. So
that's awesome. Good for you. Good
I got
for
10
you.
grand, so it's all paid for by somebody else, and we're just going to keep handing it out.
Awesome. Very proud of you. That's amazing.
Yeah. So did you want to talk about some of the things you guys are doing in respect to COVID and how some of your services have changed and maybe what you're offering instead?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So as I mentioned, the Strengthening Youth Communities is one of our prime programs right now, where we're targeting the youth community of Nova Scotia, and helping them navigate like the recent tragedies as well as COVID. Our office is closed to the public. However, there's staff in there every day, no more than 5-6 feet social distancing, who are readily available to answer the phones and emails. We are moving all of our services to online, so you can access any of our programs. If you go on our website, ElevatHerCanada.ca, you will see the extensive list of programs that we're able to offer. We pride ourselves in the fact that we make them very individualized, since mental health isn't a cookie cutter approach. Neither is supporting and growing. It's all individual need-based strength approach. So what we normally do is, if anybody wants to access any of our services now that are online, we do the intake, which can be done over the phone, email, as well as the signing of the confidentiality agreements. We can do that over email as well. And doing the intake and seeing the strengths, the areas that maybe need to be strengthened, or the basic needs of the client, I will match them with the support staff that I feel is best suited for that client. And then they go forward with online coaching services. If at any point it gets out of their scope, then I will step in. And if that is out of my scope, then I refer them on to therapy, CMHA, other amazing resources in the community. So one of our other programs that we have is Girl Code. So that's a program that I developed, and it really took off. Right now it's being offered in Shelburne, here in Truro, New Glasgow, and we're in the process of having it moved to Cape Breton as well.
Cool.
So when everything is back to normal, so to speak, those will be programs that have recently been funded by many wonderful organizations, including the Canadian government. So for now, we are going to do an online approach to that. Again, a little tricky because it is groups. So it's going to be, the impact isn't going to be as substantial. However, we'll still be able to reach girls ages 9 to 11, and we pair them with a mentor age 16 to 18.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's like more of an empowerment program. Lots of fun activities. We mail them workbooks. We mail them activities to do, craft supplies, so that way it's always interactive. We do like group Zoom calls, which is, if anybody watching this is a teacher, yeah, it's hard to navigate a group of youth over technology, that's for sure. So we were giving $15,000 from Second Harvest, based in Toronto, to help supply the community with healthy food during COVID, as well as money to actually pick up the groceries and deliver the groceries to them. Since rural Nova Scotia, there's not much transportation, and the accessibility is very, very low, and it is now even more so with COVID. And funds are lower, so cabs are totally out of the question. So we have the funds to pick you up some groceries, drop them off at your house. Again, this is something that there is like a triage around, a limit that we can spend on each person. But again, it's also up to our judgment. So if it's like a family, we can totally give more groceries than we would just one individual person. We've been able to meet the needs of those with gluten allergies as well, which has been amazing for them. And we actually just found out yesterday that we received another $5,000 to strengthen those two programs.
Awesome.
Because where they extended the state of emergency, not really sure when things will be somewhat back to normal. So this will help buy tablets for youth to access our programs, maybe a phone plan to call us. Again, anything technology related to strengthen those programs. So we partner with ElevatHer Society. So we both have an office out of the Truro Program Center. So sometimes our services will overlap. So when they're working with, say, women in the criminal justice system, ElevatHer will be able to work with the youth. So right now they're releasing many women and men from institutions, the correctional institutions, because of COVID, and they're being released to community housing. So that puts, a demand on supports for those women. And luckily we're in a position where we can help them with the food and the housing, as well as with the youth transition, with that transition, like their parents or family members being back in the community sooner than expected, but they also can't visit them. It has to be 6 feet. So helping them navigate that roller coaster mentally and financially as well.
That makes sense.
Yeah, we have a lot of programs going on right now. We even do like just social distance drop-ins with families. Like yesterday, I visited a few families in the area. Social distancing, seeing how things are going, if there's any support that they need, just checking on the kids, seeing how all of that's going. Sometimes just a friendly face, even though it is like outside of the window, can really change someone's perspective on dealing with the situation, because there's a lot of fear mongering going on, which has its pros and its cons, absolutely. But I think just knowing that there's resources out there, it may be a different dynamic now, and how it's offered, a lot more boundaries, but the services are still there.
That's awesome. I'm glad you guys have been able to like keep going and are actually continuing to grow despite everything that's going on.
Yeah, a lot of our growth has been over COVID, actually. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword, but we're now in a position where we can help a lot more than before. We were headed down this path anyway. It just happened a lot sooner than we had imagined. So we are hiring 2 summer students.
Okay.
So that will help take a lot of pressure off, because they'll be able to help with the program coordinators. So they will also help with, sending out care packages, sending out mental health booklets and everything to all of our clients, helping with the social distance visiting, as well as our social media, because that's really, again, now that everything's going online, all that has really blown up overnight. So we need some help in that area. So I'm just thankful that we're in this position to be able to serve the community like we had originally, intended. And because where we are federally incorporated, we can offer services outside of Truro. So our supports in Shelburne have also been very supportive, and we have, again, that wraparound service approach going on. And I'm thankful for, even the referrals from other organizations in the community. That means that we're doing our job and helping people, and it's being recognized and supported by other nonprofits, which you're in nonprofit leadership, correct?
I am, yeah.
Yeah, so about sometimes the struggle of like not stepping on toes and like duplicating services. But yeah, so when we get referrals and give referrals, that's the I guess the thumbs up that like, okay, we're doing what we're supposed to be doing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, the nonprofit world is a tricky one, especially right now.
Yes, it is. Absolutely. Yeah. So I can talk about some other resources in the community.
Sure.
Just because, hey, why not? I did print off these just so like it's easier to show, but Slate Youth Center will be doing all of their normal activities that they do, like Dungeons and Dragons, their drop-in youth group. They're moving that online beginning of June. To access those programs, it's Facebook Slate Youth Center. Again, this is, as I was talking to Crystal, the ED at Slate over Facebook, she was saying that this is their first time moving to online services as well. So, it's a learning process for everyone. So I think that's a fantastic idea. Besides just going online for mental health support, actually just to have a community of people that you can connect with to engage in like-minded hobbies. I think that's amazing.
Agreed.
Okay, so there's clinical therapists and psychotherapy. Again, we don't offer therapy services. We have certified counselors and coaches. So a lot of the time we are referring to Archway. So Archway has a sliding scale for their services depending on your income. But again, they are now moving all completely online. Living Well Counseling Therapy, Valerie Brown. She's a friend of mine. She's absolutely amazing. Her services are now online and on the phone. I was talking to her the other day and she's like, oh, I was just doing this session outside a client's house on my phone and we were looking at one another through the window. She's very, very sweet, very interpersonal, person-centered approach. And then Transforming Tides, Irene Gunn, who is also a friend of mine, is offering online support services like psychotherapy, counseling. She is also offering, I just found this out the other day, a mindfulness program.
Cool.
And it's all online. And it's geared towards mindfulness for COVID. So it's more of like a specialization. So again, irenegunn.com is her website page. So all of the information is on that. Valerie is livingwellcounselingtherapy.com. And is there a way we can post these in the...
They are being posted to the YouTube comment section.
You are awesome. Okay.
I got you.
All right. So again, like I did mention about eFry, they're also helping with like the housing, groceries, deliveries, social distancing supports. For kids, Maggie's Place and the Truro Library, as well as the Truro Police Service, are offering story time and kids activities all online. Yes. The other day, one of the police officers was with his dog telling a story. And Maggie's Place has been doing online crafts for the kids. So there's been miscommunication on the food bank. The food bank is open. They've just adjusted their hours. So food boxes are given out Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So
Okay.
these, can you see the new adjusted hours?
And this is the Colchester Food Bank?
That's correct, yes.
Okay.
Just tell me when you're good. I'll take it down.
We're good.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, for a while, a lot of the community had thought that they were closed, but they are open. So, okay, the Canadian Mental Health Foundation.
Great foundation.
What's that?
It's a great foundation.
Yes, you're right. It is. I love CMHA. They have a wellness hub, which is amazing. So if you go on that website, it's very easy to navigate. And it's literally a wellness hub. So there's links to self-care tips for COVID. There's links to how to talk to your kids about COVID. There's also a resource list on there for supports, not just for churro, but like provincially as well. Mm-hmm. So the Lotus Center, the Women's Support Center, they are offering online support as well. So it's easiest to go to her site. Good? Okay. So, and she can book you in for a free online support session. Sarah, she's amazing. Very, very friendly, very easygoing. So then there are other resources in the community. So the needle exchange is still open.
Okay.
As well as the hepatitis outreach services and the opiate treatment program. They are all still open. Again, for a while, people had thought they were closed. But they may have adjusted hours. So I posted the phone number for everyone to be able to access. Mental health and addictions is also still open. The Millbrook Health Center is open, YMCA Immigrant Services, and Churro Pride. So they currently do not have a phone number, but that's their Facebook link. I was speaking to one of the members, and they are moving to online support again in June for anyone in that in the LGBTQS plus community that may need extra support. And the Millbrook Health Center, amazing. If you follow them on Facebook, they're consistently posting self-care tips as well as like spirituality and how important it is now during COVID. And then there's the 24-hour supports for anyone that's interested. So the Mental Health Provincial Crisis Line, Canada Suicide Prevention, Kids Help Phone. Can you see this?
Kind of. If you send me a list of all of these at the end of this, I'll just post them everywhere.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we all still exist. If we're talking about self-care, I think it's important to not be okay. There's this stigma that, now everyone should have the time to get their butts in gear and do the renovations that they've been putting off, or the personal growth that they've been putting off, the losing of the 10 pounds. We're all in a crisis, and for many of us, this is our first crisis. So we are all learning how to navigate this one day at a time.
That's for sure. This is definitely a new experience for pretty much everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. It adds a lot of pressure to mental health agencies. I had posted kind of like a blog article about how there was a lot of things Facebook can be very negative. Just saying that the mental health organizations should be in a better position to offer support, etc. But the people who run those mental health organizations were also experiencing the same crisis and trying to navigate it, like I said, one day at a time to the best of our abilities. So it's okay to not be okay. And again, we're in a position where we may have the skills, the tools, the resources to assist, but it doesn't make us professionals in dealing with a crisis, you know?
Yeah.
So I just ask everyone to keep that in mind too. Like we're all human. We're all dealing with this the only way we know how. And although we are here to support and provide resources with the skills and knowledge that we have, we too are also trying to navigate this pandemic, you know? Going grocery shopping is exhausting. Like really exhausting.
Yeah.
I drink chocolate milk all day long because I'm like, I'm not going to the grocery store to, you know, deal with that anxiety today, like maybe tomorrow. And it's okay to not go to the grocery store today, right? And it's okay to reach out to those resources where people are in a position to go for you. Like that's an okay thing. Asking for help has never been more important than it is now, but asking for help is also a mental health crisis in itself.
Yes.
You know, for a lot of people, reaching out for support is, you know, it generates that anxiety. And then they're having to deal with their anxiety of asking for help. So it's like we're living in a society right now where every little action we take, decision we make has, I mean, it always has had like the ripple effect, but they're much more noticeable now on ourselves. So it's important to not beat yourself up.
Yep. I know that's been like a big struggle for me because like I'm a busy person most of the time. Like I enjoy working 35 hours a week and then going to school. And then when it all stopped, my motivation stopped.
Yes. Yes.
But it wasn't like a bad thing at first. It was a much needed 2-week, okay, look, my body can breathe again.
Yeah.
And getting over that guilt trip that it's okay to not be working or doing school was definitely a challenge.
Yes, the guilt and the shame is we're all experiencing it, you know, like I'm doing this from home and I'm like, oh, maybe I should have been at the office, but the office was full today, so I couldn't be there. But that guilt, that shame, that pressure is debilitating.
Yep.
It really is.
Very much so.
Yeah. And especially for people who need to be busy. And a lot of the time, people who need to feel busy, there's a variety of reasons why, but it's very common that it's like avoiding thinking, and you know what I mean? Like to 100%. Avoid thinking and feeling. And so when you're not, all those feelings are there. So it's like adding expectations on yourself that are totally unreasonable, you know, like, oh, I should be working 15 hours a day and I need to be doing this and I need to be doing that, because it's that expectation, but it's also distracting you from any mind things. So then when you're not living up to those expectations. So the guilt and shame kick in. But on top of that, everything that goes on in your head is also kicking in. So you're just in that fight or flight survival mode.
Yep, this pandemic has taught me how to cry.
Oh, well, that's good. I mean,
yeah. Not necessarily what I was going for, but I'm also not complaining, so.
It's true. Like when COVID first, you know, like when it was making its way over here, whatever, I'm like, okay, awesome. This is going to be my time where like, I'm totally going to get fit and like do this and do that. And as each day passed, I realized all I do is sit on my couch, you know, and that guilt kicked in. And then I'm like, you know what? It's okay. It is okay to sit on my couch because I'm not allowed outside without a mask. Like this is not a normal thing. So if I'm feeling like this, then imagine what everyone else is feeling like too. And just knowing that I wasn't alone in that kind of gave me a little more, you know, I didn't feel alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're totally not alone. There's been a lot of tears shed. I'm supposed to be on a trip to Germany to see family this Saturday, and that's not happening. So
That's
tears
so
will be
sad.
coming on. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're not alone.
Fair. Yeah, I did not have any exciting plans besides work and school, so not really missing out on anything, just missing people.
That connection. Yeah, you
Yeah.
didn't realize how much you like people until you can't really be around people.
Well, not even liked, just needed surrounding.
Yeah,
Than,
that community.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm
Um,
gonna change.
I have a few, I hate the word clients,
Fair.
but clients that they always joked, like, I don't like people, I don't like people, I don't like people. And now they're like, oh my gosh, I've never wanted so much in my life to go to the library and meet people. So I'm hoping too that, I mean, through the pain of all of this, I really think that when we come out on the other side, we're going to have a much better appreciation of life in general.
Yep.
The little things, like the little things that we've taken for granted, we're now noticing. Like gas prices.
I know.
Right?
So great.
Yeah. So we're in a position where we're like, wow, I'm actually being able to appreciate gas in my car to go for a drive since I can't go anywhere else.
Yeah.
Or appreciating the fact that there's people putting their lives on the line every day for us. Firefighters, police, grocery store staff. Like if they were not risking their life every day, we wouldn't have chocolate milk. We wouldn't have groceries in our fridge, right?
Yeah.
So it's appreciating. I know I've become more aware. Like I try to put myself in a position where I'm appreciative for what I actually do have instead of focusing on what I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I think this will bring hope to a lot of people. Hope that there's so much negativity going on, and then when we're put in a position where we can't do all the positive things that we may have always done before, that it gives us hope for the potential that, okay, we can grow, we can live, we can be positive. There's so much great in the world. Like there's no need to focus on all of the negative. As well as friends. Like I've never appreciated my friends so much now that I do now. Even a phone call at night. I'm not a big phone person, but a 10-minute phone call or text with a friend has become is something I look forward to at the end of every day.
Yeah.
Whereas before, I may have had that text and been like, I'm really busy, I'll reply tomorrow. Now I'm like, no, like this needs to happen because this is what's keeping us all together as a community. So
yes, very thankful for the world of technology.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It'd be a whole different scenario without technology.
And it totally would. Like a friend was saying, she's like, I feel like if this was like Little House on the Prairie time, like no one would know what to do. Like everyone would die. And I'm thinking, like, we're in such a great position that we are able to not carry on with life like we did. There's definitely some new dynamics and changes in place, but we're blessed with technology and modern society where we don't need to live in fear every day.
Yep.
About our safety. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like,
yeah, I get
yes,
you.
Yes. Yeah. We have people that, like police, that are protecting us. Whereas in older days, that wouldn't be the case. So again, it's made me appreciate like the technology. It's made me appreciate people just risking their life every day for us. It's not something that we're sometimes so caught up in is that autopilot, driving to work, getting work done, going to school, that we never think of all the other things that make up society, or, how we even got through the day. Like, we didn't, like, a car got us to work. So thank God for the people that make cars. Yeah, I just think that on the other side of this, we're all going to come out a lot more appreciative and not taking things for granted.
I hope so.
Yeah,
I really do. I'm also hopeful that the social distancing kind of stays in part, so you're not feeling like crowded in Costco and things like that.
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
I do think there's quite a few, preventative measures that I think should stay in place, like the plexiglass at stores.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's important for but for there's everyone's safety. Yeah, and as well as the social distancing, like, have some personal space and boundaries for sure. There are a lot of positive changes that I think have come out of this that I think would be really important to keep in place for sure.
It'll be interesting to see where our little province goes to next.
Yes, I read an article today that said Nova Scotia is trying to get Nova Scotians to vacation in Nova Scotia instead of leaving the province this summer to help reboost the economy. Mm-hmm. I am fearful for the economy. Nova Scotia wasn't in the greatest position before all of this. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully it'll all start to roll out a little bit faster soon.
Hopefully,
but not,
yes.
Not too fast.
Not too fast.
Fast enough.
Yes.
Do you want to share any tips about how you stay in like a positive mindset, or switching from negative to positive, or have anything to add about that?
Yeah. So, it's reframing, reframing your thoughts. So it's so easy to get caught up in negative thinking, and we're human. We do it. Okay? Like, there's no changing that. We judge, we get negative, we sometimes create drama. Like, that's who we are. But what's important is recognizing that and then reframing it so it doesn't become a factor on your mental health. So it takes 21 days to make a habit. So if you're waking up miserable every day for 21 days, it's now a habit. Like, that's what you're going to do. And it's going to take longer to reframe and change that mind thought. So I try to reframe. So if I notice that I'm getting caught up in my head or my thoughts or my busy day or whatever, I've been able to become more self-aware of what that feeling feels like, and where it feels in my body. So, for example, for me, if I'm, say, really stressed about work or my day, whatever, and I'm just finding I'm feeling negative, my belly will feel weird.
Okay.
And my neck gets really tense. So I notice those, and that's my, hey, staff, you really gotta reframe what you're doing here. So I'll take like 10 minutes. And I tell my staff too, I'm like, you need to go take a walk and do this. Do it. Like, take 10 minutes and just think about, okay, so how can I reframe this in my head that I'm not living in this negativity? The issue will be there still, but just not letting it affect your body. So, I might say, hey, I'm having a crazy busy day, but I'm blessed that I'm having a crazy busy day.
That's
because fair. It's occupying me. I've worked hard to be where I am. I've dreamt of having crazy busy days. So here I am. Let's take 10 minutes and just go play with the dogs or go for a walk, breathe, and then come back and maybe make a to-do list. Break it down into smaller goals so I'm not feeling so overwhelmed.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and to-do lists can be overwhelming too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
So I always try to break it down in like priority, like what needs to be done today, what can I focus on tomorrow. You know, if I don't finish this one thing, what effect will it have? And then kind of go from there. So that's what I do. I'm really trying to get out in nature more. That's something I've struggled with. I like to come home and have my chocolate milk and watch TV, but I'm trying to come home and spend time outside for at least an hour. And
Still
then
with chocolate milk?
Oh, absolutely.
Good answer.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's my little thing since COVID. I'm like, oh, what brings me happiness? Oh, chocolate milk does. So, but it's little things like that too,
Yeah.
right? Like focus on what brings you happiness.
Yep.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense. Yeah. Wow. Such a weird time we live in.
Yeah, it sure is.
So
I just noticed the sun is coming out here. It was rainy earlier.
It's kind of been overcast here all day for the most part.
You're in Halifax, right?
Yeah, I'm on the Eastern Shore.
Okay, yep.
We are in a bug nest, essentially. That's where our community lives. And so you go outside and you die.
Yeah.
So
Lovely.
indoors is where I spend most of my time unless I head into the city.
Hey, you know what? If that's what makes you happy, good for you.
It keeps me alive.
Yes, exactly. That's all we can do right now.
Yeah, for sure. So what are next steps for you and the organization, or just in general?
So again, we're having that pressure to move online. So that's where our main focus is right now, like learning to navigate that and helping our clients navigate that. So helping them get tablets, helping them learn how to take an online program. Our goal is that come September, things will be relatively back to normal. And that's when we will be moving our Girl Code program to Cape Breton. And we will also be in the local schools doing our Girl Code program and our GATE program. So it's Girls Against Trafficking and Exploitation. So we, along with Elizabeth Fry Society, we received $600,000 from the government over 3 years. 3 years. So we have the GATE program, which we will be traveling the province, helping organizations be in a better position to recognize the signs of human trafficking and how to effectively help someone who has been involved in human trafficking.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we will be going to Texas to take training. It's called Not a Number training. So it's like world-renowned #1 human trafficking training. We were supposed to be there in 3 weeks, but we can't obviously because of COVID. So that's why we're hoping September things will be a little bit more back to normal, and we can go take that training and then come back and teach organizations, schools, institutions across the province about human trafficking prevention, as well as we'll have programs in place and supports in place that can help individuals get out of the human trafficking field and, transition them back into society and build a life of their own. And hopefully in September, we will also be back in Nova Institute, the federal prison, doing life skills coaching programs with the women there.
Very cool.
So yeah, lots of big things in store. COVID kind of makes it a limbo, but at the same time, it gives us time to prepare for it and take this time to reach our clientele over technology.
Cool.
Yeah. What about you?
My next step is to start these self-care baskets.
Yeah.
And so they'll include like grocery gift cards and little hygiene products and like notebooks and pens and just things that you'd like to go out and buy yourself, but have
can't.
to.
Yeah.
Those funds are tight. So I should have enough to do about 40 baskets.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And is it HRM area?
I'm going to try and do it all over the province because I can still mail things.
Good
we're
for
gonna
you.
Try, and
Yeah.
then I'll just do door deliveries for the ones that are local.
Yeah. You're amazing. You're such an inspiration. You're very
Thank you.
ambitious, and I think like your heart's really in the right place. Like
I hope so.
you don't stop at anything. You like remember when you came up to do our pictures for the book, and you're like, and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that, and sure enough, like 1 year later, like you've done it. And
Not
now
all
you're
of it, but definitely
not
getting close.
most of it. Yes. So yeah, just I'm very proud of you. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's very exciting. I applied to some universities, so I might try and get an undergrad this fall, and then
Good for you.
apply to Dallas social work program next year. See where that goes, and then go from there.
Good for you. Super proud of you.
Thank you.
So I didn't know if you had any questions or if anyone, I don't even know if anyone's still watching, but if anyone.
I think we still have 3 faithful people.
Thank you, people.
Hopefully people will see this later. If not, it's been fun.
It has been fun. I'll definitely share it on our Facebook, Instagram. Our website is kind of in the process of being worked on, evaluated. We had students create our website for us. We were so happy. Now it's just more content that we need to add to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to have a page on that where people can watch like videos that we've done. So I will add the video to that page as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is there anything that myself or Pics for Fashion as a whole or a community can do to help you guys at all, or things that collaboration might happen? Or
I did want to talk to you about some collaborations that we have in mind coming up. So we can do that afterwards. I can send you a quick email, especially with this whole technology thing. I feel like you're pretty savvy at that, or at least better than I am.
Helps to have a family that's in tech.
Yeah, it probably does. Well, yeah, if no one has any questions.
I don't think so. Then I will get the list of resources from you to share with all of the people.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was the main point. I wanted to get the resources across to the community, not only the ones that we're offering, but ones that other nonprofits are as well, just because, like I said, everyone's in that what's out there for me, who can help me. So I just wanted the main point of this to, speak about a little bit about self-care and like reframing thoughts, but mainly getting the resources out there to people.
For sure.
And, just adding that personal touch to it. Yeah.
That makes sense. Well, thank you for joining me and indulging in this test run of video call.
For your first one, you set this up really lovely.
I'm glad it worked out. The first couple minutes of this video are us figuring it out, but other than that, I think it went pretty smoothly.
I think so too. All right, Hannah. Well, thank you, and we will be in touch about some collaborations and everyone else going forward. Take one day at a time. It is okay to not be okay. Call us if you need anything. Email us. We are a staff of 5, plus eFry also has 4 or 5 staff. So there's 10 of us ready to help and support at any time. Again, children, youth, adults, families. Even if it's advocacy or helping you navigate other resources in the community, that's what we're here for. So our number is 902-897-0852. Email is ElevatHer@outlook.com. And again, our website, which is not totally up and running, but ElevatHerCanada.ca. So we're here for you guys, the community, Nova Scotia as a whole. And again, we are, tackling COVID one day at a time, the same day as you are. But if we can all work together as a community, I really think we can stop the next pandemic, like a mental health pandemic, from maybe not happening, but from it being more debilitating than it needs to be.
For sure. Very well said.
Thanks.
Well, thank you very much.
All right.
And I will talk to you soon.
Sounds good. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
My dog says bye.